Welcome to the CPGM Way Too Early Mock Draft. I'm CPGM Headley. The website is couchpotatogm.com. Please visit the website. Look at all of our content, a lot of draft content for you. If you want to see the previous editions, you can check out CPGM Juice's Way Too Early Top 10 Mock Draft and CPGM Drew's Way Too Early 11 through 20 Mock Draft. So let's get right into it, man. At pick 21, we have the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills broke their playoff drought last season under first-year head coach Sean McDermott. However, they still have a big glaring need at the quarterback position. Tyrod Taylor, he's been serviceable, but seems like the regime wants to move on from him. They drafted Nathan Peterman last season, and he didn't play well in the limited opportunities that he had. With that being said, I don't think the Buffalo Bills will reach here at quarterback due to, all the quarterbacks off the board. And I think they select Vita Vea from Washington, the big D tackle, the 350-pound mammoth from Washington. After they traded Marcel Darius to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Buffalo Bills' run defense struggled mightily. They were ranked 29th in rushing yards allowed. They gave up the most rushing touchdowns in the league. So I believe they get a big physical guy that could stop the run in Vita Vea. Not only can he be an anchor in the Buffalo Bills' run defense, but he has enough quickness to also get after the quarterback and will be a very nice fit for the Buffalo Bills front four. Buffalo Bills, pick number 22. Linebacker Tremaine Edmunds, Virginia Tech. The Bills have back-to-back picks, 21 and 22 in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft because of their astute move, trading back and selecting Tre'Davious White, who was lights out as a cornerback last season. The Buffalo Bills, Tremaine Edmunds, I like this pick for them because, they get to build their front seven. If you know anything about Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane, the GM there in Buffalo, they came from a system in Carolina where their front seven was dominant. Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Charles Johnson, all those guys were vital to the Carolina Panthers defense. I say Sean McDermott replicates this same system and picks a front seven player, back-to-back picks. Tremaine Edmunds, this guy's up draft boards because of his unique size, speed, just a beast out there. And the scary part about Tremaine Edmunds, he still has room to grow with his instincts. But, as an athlete, run and chase down linebacker, I think this guy is going to excel at the next level and be a force for years to come. Pick number 23, the Los Angeles Rams select cornerback Denzel Ward from Ohio State. Or should I say, the Ohio State. Under first-year head coach Sean McVay, the Rams totally turned around their franchise. They won the division, garnering Sean McVay Coach of the Year honors. They had the Offensive Player of the Year in Todd Gurley. Jared Goff went from a bust in many people's eyes into a legitimate quarterback for years to come. And their defense was led by Aaron Donald, his Defensive Player of the Year award. So they had a very successful 2017 campaign. However, they have a lot of questions this offseason. They need to get Aaron Donald under contract and figure out what they're going to do with cornerback Tremaine Johnson after he was tagged for 2 consecutive seasons. Whether or not they bring back Tremaine Johnson, I believe that the Rams will go cornerback early in this draft. And why not get Denzel Ward? Denzel Ward is supremely athletic, but most importantly, he's a technician. Man-to-man corner, can mirror the opposition's wide receivers. He replaced Marshawn Lattimore and Gareon Conley last season. Both were first-round picks. So Ohio State will get another first-round corner. I don't believe he's as talented as a Marshawn Lattimore, the defensive rookie of the year in 2017. But I think he's a better corner than Gary Conley, as he's slightly better man-to-man cover corner. His issue at the next level will be, can he play outside due to the physical nature? He's more of a finesse guy, so a move to the slot corner might be his best option. But, in the NFL, you need guys that can cover, and Denzel Ward is definitely a cover corner, and he fits right in line with what Wade Phillips wants to do on defense. Pick number 24, the Carolina Panthers select wide receiver Christian Kirk from Texas A&M. If we learn anything about last year's draft, we've seen that the Panthers wanted a lot of speed on the field. They also wanted to get the ball quickly out of Cam Newton's hands. Cam Newton's taking a lot of hits in his career, and they want to surround him with guys that can score from anywhere on the field. Christian Kirk fits this ideology. He's a guy that can catch it short, uses speed. He's a playmaker. So I think Cam Newton deserves to get another receiver after trading their number one receiver last season in Kelvin Benjamin. They have Devin Funchess, which is a bigger body physical receiver. So if they could get a Christian Kirk, put him in the slot, and he can really thrive within this Panthers offense. Kirk can line up inside or outside, in my opinion. He can catch it deep, catch it short, and he's just a lightning in the bottle player that could really add another dynamic to this Panthers offense. Pick number 25, the Tennessee Titans select edge rusher Marcus Davenport from the University of Texas at San Antonio. Marcus Davenport was an interesting name leading up to the Senior Bowl. Many people pegged him as a top 10 pick, a top 10 talent. In the Senior Bowl, he struggled a bit in practices the first couple of days, as the lack of power he has in the run game reared its ugly head. Also, his pass rushing moves. He's a raw prospect at this time, but if the Titans could get him at 25, I think that would be a steal for them. The Titans were pretty good stopping the run last season, but they were susceptible against the pass. Many teams passed the football on them. A best way to help the secondary is to get a pass rusher. The Titans has two pass rushers that has had exceptional careers in Brian Orakpo and Derek Morgan. But to infuse some youth, some speed in Marcus Davenport, I think that's well needed for this defense. Mike Vrabel's the new head coach over there, and he's going to want to get after the quarterback. He's a former pass rusher himself. I flirted with Arden Key in this spot, but teams might shy away due to his off-the-field concerns. I think Davenport is a guy that could be a potential 15-sack guy if he puts it all together. He just has to prove that he could win against NFL competition. Pick number 26, the Atlanta Falcons select defensive tackle Maurice Hurst from Michigan. The Falcons have a big decision to make on bringing back Deontre Poe. They gave him a 1-year prove-it contract last season. I think Poe played pretty well. He showed that he was just not a run stuffer. He actually got after the quarterback some. But if they choose to bring him back or not, I still think Maurice Hurst will be an important player for the Falcons to draft. The Falcons want to bring pressure. They want to bring pressure on the edges and up the middle. So Maurice Hurst, alongside of Vic Beasley, Grady Jarrett, and Tat McKinley, will do just that. Hurst has a non-stop motor. He has a physical playing style that Dan Quinn loves, the versatility. I think he'll be a valuable asset for the Falcons at the next level. The Falcons want to get ahead on the scoreboard and just bring waves and waves of pass rushers against opponents. Pick number 27, New Orleans Saints select wide receiver Courtland Sutton from SMU, Southern Methodist University. The Saints, what can you say? They hit a home run, a grand slam in last year's NFL draft. They drafted the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in Marshawn Lattimore. They drafted the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in Alvin Kamara. They've also drafted Ryan Ramczyk and Marcus Williams. That's going to be main cogs, main starters on their team for years. The Saints did what many teams try to do each year, and that's build through the draft. They eventually won the NFC South with their defense taking major steps forward. I see the Saints targeting an offensive weapon. Drew Brees is an incredible Hall of Fame quarterback. However, he's getting up there in age, and I believe he needs more weapons around him. Brandon Coleman and Willie Snead didn't really get the job done last season. So a weapon like Cortland Sutton to be opposite of Michael Thomas could be interested in New Orleans. They both possess similar traits. They're big body guys. They know how to get open and they catch the ball effectively. Sutton's just another weapon for the Saints that will add to their already dynamic offense. Pick number 28, Pittsburgh Steelers select linebacker Rashaan Evans from the University of Alabama. Alabama has been churning out top-level linebackers over the last decade, and Rashaan Evans is no different. He's an every-down player. He will help solidify the middle of the Steelers' defense. He plays physical and fast. He's an instant plug-and-play starter, and that can become a leader for the Pittsburgh Steelers after losing Pro Bowl linebacker Ryan Shazier last season. Shazier suffered a catastrophic neck spine injury last season, and ever since he went out, the Steelers' defense hasn't been the same. In their playoff loss against the Jacksonville Jaguars, they were really exposed. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't cover. And Rashaan Evans, the linebacker from Alabama, can do both. So if Shazier ever does return to football, I think that would be a dynamic duel with him and Rashaan Evans. Pick number 29, the Jacksonville Jaguars select offensive guard Isaiah Wynn from Georgia. Isaiah Wynn played tackle in college. Actually, he played all positions, but most recently he played tackle at the University of Georgia. He spearheaded the Bulldogs' rushing attack with Nick Chubb and Sony Michel. The Jacksonville Jaguars, you know what they're trying to do. They want to play exceptional defense and run the football. Last season, they drafted Cam Robinson and Leonard Fournette to spearhead their running game, and it worked out for these guys. So why not draft another offensive lineman, a guard, in Isaiah Wynn? Wynn is one of my draft favorites due to his technical nature. He gets a quick push in the run game, and his hand placement is textbook. Pick number 30, the Minnesota Vikings select offensive lineman Billy Price from The Ohio State. Price is a versatile lineman. He could play either guard or center. I project him as a center at the next level. The Vikings, although they struggled in their conference championship loss to Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles, I think the defensive unit is still one of the best in the league with little holes to fill. I expect them to go on the offensive side of the football. The Vikings wants to run the football with Dalvin Cook next season. Although they did improve drastically from 2016 to 2017, I still think there's room for improvement along their offensive line. Pat Elflein was a draft pick from the Ohio State University last season, and I say they pair him with his teammate Billy Price in Minnesota, and hopefully the Vikings can make another run in the 2018 season. Pick number 31, the New England Patriots select Jair Alexander, cornerback, Louisville. We all saw the fiasco in the Super Bowl with Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler probably will not be back there next season. Therefore, I believe the New England Patriots select a cornerback in Jair Alexander. He's my favorite corner in the draft. He has enormous ball skills, anticipation on routes, could break on routes. He gives you an extra added dimension in the special teams, the return game as a kick returner and the punt returner. He reminds me of a young Asante Samuels, who the Patriots drafted 15 seasons ago in 2003. They could get another playmaker on the second level. They could also go pass rusher here, but at this point in the draft, I say just select the best corner available in Jair Alexander. Pick number 32, the Philadelphia Eagles select Sam Hubbard, defensive line, Ohio State. Philadelphia Eagles, they're the champs, and quite frankly, they're bringing back 21 of the 22 starters from last season. Only Bradham is a free agent. He might be back with the team, so they could bring back all their starters, which is very rare, especially for a Super Bowl team. So right now they could go best player available. They do have needs at the left tackle position. We'll see if Jason Peters recovers. Their secondary wasn't that good this season, but they drafted Rasul Douglas and Sidney Jones last season, so maybe they don't go there in the first round. Also, the linebackers, they might need a linebacker for more depth. But they're in a situation where let's just get the best player on the board. I think it's Sam Hubbard. He's a pass rusher from Ohio State. He's just what you want from a football player. He does everything right. He's consistent. He could set the edge. He could get to the quarterback. He's a very cerebral football player. The motor is off the charts, and it's just the rich getting richer here because Philadelphia already possesses one of the best pass rushing, has a lot of depth. They just bring waves at you, and Sam Hubbard could add to the waves of pass rushers that the Eagles can bring to you. And it's just going to be an embarrassment of riches over here with Sam Hubbard. But like I said, the Eagles are in a position to get the best player available, and Sam Hubbard's the pick. There you have it. That's CPGM Headley's Way Too Early Mock Draft. Please do us a favor, like and subscribe to YouTube channel, and also visit the website, couchpotatogm.com, all draft season long. Thank you.